Welcome back, guys. Today I'm here at home and I'm getting a head start on spring and summer camping adventures. So today it's a rainy day and I want to stay inside and just work on some things. So today I'm going to be making homemade fire starter. So it's going to be really easy for us to make these little homemade fire starters for your everyday carry kit when you're out camping or in the woods this spring and summer. So all you need is paraffin wax and some wood shavings and birch bark. It's really easy. Let me show you how to do it. So here's my little setup. As you can see, I've got a little stove here. Obviously you can use the stove in your kitchen if you'd like. And I'm currently heating up some paraffin wax. So you can get this from your local hardware store. That's where I got this. And it's good for making candles, sealing jars, all sorts of good stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a brick or two of these and melt them down. I think 2 bricks is probably good. As you can see here, I'm using a double boiler system. So basically I have a metal bowl here over boiling water. So what it's gonna do is melt down the wax without really burning it. So it's gonna take its time and we'll let that melt while we get everything else ready. This is a miniature muffin tin that I came across in the store and I thought this is really handy. So in each of those little muffin tin holes there, that's going to be a small fire starter. Now you can certainly use a larger muffin tin if you want to make a larger fire starter. I like the idea of a smaller one because they're nice and compact and you can just take, 1 or 2 if you're going on a short hike. If you're going on a longer hike and maybe there's wet conditions and you want to make sure that your fire starter is going to go for a while, you might want to make a bigger fire starting candle. This is going really well here. So what I like to do first is just put a little bit of olive oil or oil in there just to kind of grease the little cups. So I'm going to put a bit of oil in one and then I'm going to use a bit of Kleenex to kind of oil up every single hole in the muffin tin. This will just make it a little bit easier for the wax to release. I'm sure it's going to be just fine without it, but I want to be absolutely sure. Just need a little bit more there. Oops. And obviously if this is your best muffin tin, beware. It can be a mess at the end of the day to clean this up. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil here on the surface as well, because I'm sure we're gonna get some drips here and there and I want them to release from this muffin tin really well. Next, I've got the birch bark and I want to basically make this into really thin little pieces. So I'm just gonna kind of rip it up because we're gonna put this part at the top of the fire starter so that it really lights up. So you just want to kind of shred it up a little bit into tinier pieces so we can put them on the surface of the fire starter. So you can see right there, little tiny pieces. All right, so I have lots of little pieces right there all made up. And of course, here are the shavings. This is actually walnut, but you can use pine shavings or whatnot. This is just to basically add a little bit of body to the candle to keep the fire going while you get your fire started. So as you can see, the paraffin is basically just about melted. The last little bit of it's gonna go there too. And now we're basically ready to pour our hot wax into the muffin tin. Be careful, the wax is really hot. You can burn yourself. So kids, if you're doing this, make sure you get your parents to help you out with this. I'm going to be using this spoon here to spoon in the paraffin wax into the muffin tin. Okay, so we start off by spooning it in. It's really hot, be careful. And then next we're going to put in a little bit of the shavings. You see that? Put those in there. And then on the very top, this is the part that you're going to be using to help catch the little fire starter on fire here. It's kind of like your wick of the candle. It's going to be the birch bark, and everybody knows birch bark is a great fire starter as well. So we'll just top it up with a little bit of wax here on the top to finish. And the shavings I find do absorb a lot of the wax, so you're going to want to just top up as needed. And there's your first little homemade fire starter. Let's keep on making the rest. You want to work fairly quickly as the wax does cool down. gonna be doing a few at a time here. What I like about these is that they really burn for quite some time. So if you're struggling getting your other bits of tinder lit, these are really helpful. Okay, we'll get our birch bark on top. Really kind of crunch them up and sort of push them into that wax. It's a little bit of a messy job. Make sure you're doing it in a spot where you can clean up easily after. I think they're actually kind of pretty. There we go. A little bit more wax on that guy. And we'll continue on. All right, they're all done. As you can see, it's a little bit of a messy job, but they look great. So now we're just gonna let them cool down for a little bit until the wax has hardened and is at room temperature. All right, so they are definitely at room temperature now. If you are in a rush, you can pop them in, the fridge as well to speed up the cooling process. Let's see what they look like. So as you can see, the wax is all hardened now. Because I put the oil across the muffin tin, it's really easy to kind of pick it off. You just kind of go like that and off comes the wax versus having to sort of scrape at it with your nail. I think they look pretty good. So we're gonna take them out now using a knife. So because it doesn't really matter to me too much, I'm just gonna use a knife. And it could definitely scratch the coating on this. So if this is your favorite muffin tin, you might want to use like a butter knife or something duller to get it out. But I just did one quick little pop there, and because I did the olive oil or the just regular cooking oil in there, you can see how easily they pop out. So there's one. There's the next one, really easy to get out. Yeah, these just lift out really easily. Thank goodness I used that oil. All right, so I got them all out and they look great. See them all right here. So now you can store them in a cool, dry area. I might just put them in a plastic baggie and then take them out as I need them to take on my camping trips. All right, so I'm gonna take one of these and put it in this little bowl for safety purposes, and we'll light it up. And there it goes, easy. See, the birch bark is really lighting up. Then as that sort of goes into the wax and into the shavings, the candle's really gonna keep staying lit while you try to get your fire lit. And there it goes. So you can see how long this burns, which is really helpful trying to get a fire started, when it's wet outside, or you just need a little bit more time to get things going. And the paraffin obviously melts out. That's why I've got it in this little bowl here to show you guys as a demonstration. But it'll also coat some of your little kindling and things like that. So here I am sort of lit up by the little tiny fire starter that I've got going here. It's going really nicely. I'm really happy with how these turned out, and I'm pleased to have these now for my everyday carry kit for my spring and summer adventures. Well, thanks guys so much for watching today. I hope you learned something new. This is a great little craft. It's really quick and easy to do and very useful for you to have, when you're on hikes, going camping in the woods, things like that. You want to be able to have a really good fire starter. You can buy these types of products online and in stores, but they're going to be really expensive. I mean, it cost me about maybe $10 in paraffin wax to have numerous fires that I can start. And you can get the birch bark on the ground in the woods. Try not to peel it right off the tree, because that can damage the tree if it's not just hanging there. And the wood shavings, of course, if you're doing some wood projects or even just going to your local wood store, they'll probably have some shavings that you can have there to do this project. Again, instead of paraffin wax, you can use beeswax or just some old candles, and you can kind of melt them down. So as I've been talking, it is still going. Got lots of dense fibers in there with the wood shavings to keep it going. All right, I hope you have a great week this week. As always, take care.